Trying to see. Guess that's fine. I'm gonna put my phone number on the background. Just kidding. I'm not. That'd be a terrible idea. Oh, hi Twitch. Just gonna play whatever was on from yesterday. Thank you guys. Thank you for liking and reposting. I appreciate you. You can DM me a question about Satan Revolution. Adriano, did you mean to request up? Let me know if you meant to. Sadie's inviting you. Sadie. Oh, God. Pansy girl? Okay. Hi, Jordan.
Hello.
Hi. Can I have your age?
I'm 28.
What's your argument?
Well, I'm actually kind of new to economics, and I kind of just wanted your opinion on some things because um, I I like the benefits of free market capitalism, insofar as that they don't impose um, stuff like price ceilings or price floors. And it allows the market to react in ways that are very natural, and you don't end up with like misallocation of resources or something like not being able to meet demand. And so I don't really know how a communist really responds to that, and whether there's a sufficient answer, insofar as the central problem being that central planning, um, I think until we get something like super AI that can intake all that information and do central planning well, um, is probably like a free market's probably going to give better results.
It doesn't. Okay, what type of distribution do you want? Do you want like equitable distribution of resources?
Um, I don't know if I understand the question. I don't know what kinds of distribution there are.
Well, the purpose of an economy is to distribute like goods, services, resources.
Yeah, provide value to consumers.
So like when you say like capitalism is like more efficient.
Uh-huh.
Like
At
what do you
providing the
mean?
value to the resources that we currently have.
I'm sorry, it's efficient at what?
Providing value to the consumers, with the resources that we currently have.
That doesn't make sense.
What can I explain about it?
Capitalism isn't what provides the value. Oops. Like what type of value are you talking about?
Um, well, it depends. Like value is normally discussed in a way that is with relation to people's preferences. So it's like, okay, well, something's very valuable to me if I have a strong preference to it, insofar as like, okay, say I want to pave my driveway. Well, something like asphalt would be valuable to me in that case. And then, so,
But is it capitalism that gave it value, or was it the necessity that gave it value? So I don't. Do you know about subjective theory of value?
um, well, it depends what you mean by theory of value, because,
Subjective theory of value.
yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's all your talking points are from subjective theory of value. That's the arguments that you're giving me are like
Mhm.
ANCAP arguments.
Okay, I'm not an ANCAP.
Well, so
I,
yeah. So capitalism isn't what gives something value. So there's different types of value. So like there's use value. And there are some things that like have an inherent use value, like water, for instance.
Yeah.
Um, but like for a good or service or whatever, the use value comes through the labor of the workers. And then there is exchange value, and that is where something becomes a commodity because it is exchanged on the market for
Mm-hmm.
for a price, right?
Okay, so would you say that most things don't fall under the use value then?
No, everything has use value.
Oh, okay.
Well, not everything, but when we're talking about like what is it called? I'm thinking of a conveyor belt in my head,
A factory?
not a factory. Uh, yeah,
That's
I
not
don't know.
helping.
I don't know. It's like the process, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the production. Thank you.
Okay.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So, yeah, like when things are produced, that use value comes from human labor.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what you're getting at. I'm sorry.
The reason I said that is because you said that capitalism is like why things have value. But the reason that things
No,
have value is because of human labor.
well, okay. I don't, maybe we're just kind of using the term value in different ways because I think of value in terms of what it provides to someone and their
That,
preferences.
that's utility. You're talking about utility and preference.
Okay. Yeah, those are
Use value would also be utility.
use value would also be utility. Okay. Then I don't even know, like,
I think that you should look at the labor theory of value.
okay, can you explain it really quickly then?
I mean, I kind of did a little, the tiniest amount, but I actually think you should go read. Can I suggest something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you responded directly to the problem that I proposed, though.
I
So,
did, but
insofar as that
the
communism can,
argument that you're making is ECP. So the argument that you have that you present to me with is that you believe that we cannot organize an economy, we can't centralize an economy because we would then not know what it is that we need to produce if we don't
Mhm.
have like price signals, for instance.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, what was the response to that?
Well, I started talking to you about subjective theory of value to get you to
Uh-huh.
understand your own point. I'm not quite sure where you heard this from. This is a particular argument that I'm surprised that you're giving me. But what we have seen is that centralized economies do work. They do know what to produce. You don't need price signals in order to know what is needed. Um, you know what I
Well,
mean?
do you think that, I mean, it depends what you mean by work. I don't know what the metric is. Insofar as that, I don't think that current or previous communist countries were able to sustain their economy.
They were.
And
Yeah.
so why did they die?
Who died?
The communist countries?
Only one of them doesn't exist anymore. Just
What's the most popular current communist country?
I mean, it depends on who you talk to, but
Well,
all of
popularity in
them.
terms of like
So
biggest.
okay, so like one of the things that like Cuba does is they subsidize their food really heavily. So like you have
Mm-hmm.
the subsidies on the food. You also have an entitlement to a particular amount of food each month. I think it's like twice a month. But they are able to plan out their economy and make sure that they are like equitably distributing their resources to the people. You also can still purchase food. But the reason that Cuba's in the situation that they're in is because they're under the boot of US imperialism. So capitalism is fucking with them, basically.
I see. All right. Well, I guess I'll read some more and come back.
Yeah, because the argument that you're giving me is from like the 1920s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reading about economics currently and about the supply and demand curve and how price ceilings and price floors can be problematic.
Can you read? You should read Wage, Labor, and Capital, Value, Price, and Profit. I don't know,
Okay.
you can like screenshot it or whatever. It's like a long ass
Okay.
article. This would be very helpful.
All right. Well,
Okie dokie.
I appreciate the conversation.
Okie dokes. Thank you. Bye. I'm too tired to talk about Mises. Hi, Banana. I saw you in the chat. I don't know if you're still here. Sadie's awful. I'm sorry that happened.
Hello.
Hi. Can I have your age?
Yes, I am 18, 17th of January 2008.
What's your argument?
All right, so I was going to say, I don't like capitalism, okay? I don't agree with the fact that a lot of time it exploits people, it makes people poor, it can significantly lower quality of life. I think you and I can both agree on that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, but I also don't think communism is the right way. What I thought, do you think we could be able to find in our economy, maybe even in the future, a common ground where private property, for example, still exists? Companies are still heavily regulated by the state. Okay, so the state authority regulates the companies. And what this allows us to do is basically create small groups inside our economy that are able to coordinate each other for the most production and the most productivity while being regulated by the government to ensure that they don't do anything bad, and so that everyone can benefit from it inside the country.
What do you
Do you
think about national syndicalism?
I'm not really educated on the topic. What is it?
Mussolini?
What about him?
What is it that you wanted?
I just explained that.
Explain it again.
I would like a kind of middle ground where we can't really be, where there's kind of the benefits of both.
You get the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana? Hi, Sean. My love.
Do you think it could be like a viable option even in the future?
What is the option?
The one I just explained.
Explain it more in depth. Hang on. Wait, before you do it, Sean, my love, my beautiful. I'm so happy you're here.
Hi.
Hi. I think he's talking about national syndicalism, but he said he doesn't know what it is.
I have no idea what that word means.
Okay, tell
It's just a
Sean.
lid. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Tell
Yeah.
Sean what you
What
want.
your ideology is.
So, as I was saying to Miss Comrade here, I don't agree with a lot of the aspects of capitalism, because I feel like sometimes it can all the stuff about the corporations, it exploits people a lot of the times. It makes some people it creates imbalance, okay? But I don't even agree with communism, because the quality of life a lot of times isn't that good, and where communism was at least proven, not proven, sorry, wrong word, tried to implement. So what I was my idea was that there could be kind of a mix of both, maybe, where there's still private property, and the state works close to the companies in the country and helping them to make them grow.
Oh,
So what we have now,
No, we don't have that now. Definitely not.
we don't?
Where?
Goldman Sachs getting bailed out by the government?
No, but that's different. I wouldn't like that.
Oh, that's different. Oh, that's
No, I
different.
would like no.
Ah,
I would
okay.
like the government.
All right.
to
That's
work for
different,
the
chat.
people,
That's
for the
different.
people, not for the interest of singular corporations.
Would you say maybe like intertwining the state with the corporations? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Corporatism.
corporate what?
Corporatism?
Corporatism. I'm not pro corporations though.
You're not?
No, I don't like big corporations. So what do you think?
Listen, man. I think that a big issue with people who come up against communism, especially, is that y'all don't have your ideologies fleshed out. You're just saying stuff, being like, I think this could probably work because, maybe I thought about
was
it in
just-
the shower.
I'm not saying
it's-
this should
Sean,
be
that's so
implemented.
funny.
I'm just saying it was just an idea,
Just an idea. Shower.
But it's an idea that it's not fleshed out, like at all. Like
If I had
it's
to-
literally, you're just describing what we have now.
Right.
We do not have that what I just described now. We have
Okay.
for example in
Are you
the
sure?
US we have pure capitalism.
Your raw,
Are you
uncut capitalism.
I do not like that. If the government has to be helping
Ash
big
is the funniest
corporations-
person, I swear.
Yo, let me speak though.
Go
If the
ahead.
government has to help big corporations be even more evil, I don't like that. The government should work with corporations to make the life of the people better.
That's nice.
How do you make the life of the people better?
Working closer to the interests.
What's the interest?
I mean, not exploiting people, trying to, housing, more education, maybe be financed by the state,
So what we have now. All right, man. Look,
We do not have that now, brother.
This is nuts. This is actually nuts.
Yep.
This is actually insane.
I thought you'd enjoy this one. I knew you would. I was like,
bro,
oh, Sean's here. She's going to love this.
bro,
What world do we have
doesn't
that
even
now,
realize
bro?
he described Section 8 housing. Crazy work.
you explain,
Absolute
though?
nuts. Why?
But can you explain though?
No, I think we should move on.
Can I explain Section 8 housing? Yeah. Take what you said and give it the name Section 8 housing. That's what we have now.
Yeah.
Like, bro, take
it should
what
be-
you said. Take what you said, apply it to groceries. That's called SNAP and TANF. That's what we have now, bro.
I know that is not what I said, lad.
You didn't name it SNAP and TANF, but you described those events. Like, what are we doing?
So, do you think in our society the state is actively cooperating with the companies to make the life of the individual people, the normal people in the country better? Do you think it is what's happening now?
The way that you wanted to, yes. You literally described Section 8 housing. What do you want me to say? The
What I
way
just said
Section
is
8 housing.
what I
Look
think is
up.
a good
Look up.
idea.
Look. There's Section 8 housing laws. Look up Section 8 housing laws and tell me that they're anything different than what you just said for housing.
That's not the only aspect we should
Okay.
be looking at.
I'm going to drop you down. You're unprepared for conversation. We have other people that I hope are more prepared.
Yo.
One moment, please. Okay, so this is a mutual aid live for Gary, Indiana. Today is 14 days without power. There is a link tree on the background. There are 2 mutual aids on there. One of them is a general direct mutual aid for the people of Gary. One of them is for the High Thurman Community Garden that was destroyed on August 11th due to the historic storms. Also, on the sticker, you can go to Mayo's TikTok and you can access the link tree there. Also, please share out videos that are on there. I'd appreciate it. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right. Well, it's really fucking simple. A planned economy has never worked historically. You can look at any example of it, and it has never worked. So it's a completely stupid idea to even sit here and debate.
Can you give me an example of when a planned economy failed?
Can I give you an example? Like East Germany, Vietnam, Cuba, like
Cuba
China
failed?
before 1989, like literally
failed.
any time it was tried. The Soviet.
Do you hear him? My goodness.
I do. It's gonna be funny when we get to the logistic. It's gonna be so funny actually.
All right, pick one of the countries and tell me about how planning the economy failed.
I mean, literally just look at China, 1989. What happened 1989? They allowed for private ownership. They allowed for a free market, and now they're fucking blooming. And it was dog shit before 1989.
They still plan their economy. The economy is still planned.
85% of their GDP is from private ownership. You can't call that a planned economy.
You can,
Economy.
yes, you can actually.
No, you can't. Just because one specific sector involves some aspect of a planned economy doesn't mean that that's a planned economy.
He's gonna regret
what?
this.
Brody has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. This is gonna be so funny.
Don't I?
You
Yes, you
don't.
don't.
Would you consider a country like China a planned economy?
Yes.
It is a planned economy.
Mhm.
Every
yeah,
economist
by the same
agrees that it's a
standard,
planned
Sweden
economy.
is a planned
That-
economy.
Oh, but every
What do you mean,
economist
but?
agrees that it's a planned economy. Listen, man, I just want to ask you, what are the structures of a planned economy?
Oh, he doesn't know.
No.
Oh,
He's looking it up. Yo!
I'm not looking. I didn't say anything. I'm not looking it up.
I'm not looking. Not looking it up. What is it then?
So, what do you mean? Is that your rebuttal? That I can't tell you the exact definition of a planned economy, even though
The
I know the
structures.
complete
I'm
opposite.
asking you the structures of a planned economy. And yes, that would tell us
why
that
is
you don't know
relevant?
what a planned
And
economy
why is
is.
that relevant?
Imagine if someone said, like, imagine if someone came to me and they were
Right.
like, "Hey, yeah, your engine's fucked, like in
Yeah.
your car."
Yeah.
And I go, "Okay, what part of my engine's fucked?" And they go, "Well, just because I can't tell you what part of your engine's fucked." It's like, nigga, how do you know it's fucked?
If I see your engine hanging out of your
Like,
He
come on,
goes,
bro.
he goes, why is that relevant? Because your argument, the entire argument that you're trying to have is against planned economies. So you have to be able to tell us what is the structures of a planned economy. Can you tell us that?
Whether I can tell you what a planned economy is or not is completely irrelevant. Once again, if I see your engine hanging,
We're gonna go ahead and stop you here, because you saying that it's completely irrelevant is absolutely fucking hilarious. Because you can't tell us what parts of it failed if you don't know the structures of it in the first place.
He doesn't.
I can't tell you what parts of it
What
failed.
the fuck are we talking about? Like, imagine.
Oh my God. Are you just gonna sit here and mute me?
Imagine, like, just absolutely imagine that a teacher says to, like, you're in school, a teacher tells you to finish an algebraic equation and you don't know the letters within the algebraic equation, but you swear to God you have the right answer on your paper. Like, that's nuts. That's absolutely the fuck nuts. like, what are we talking about?
Currently, what's happening is he says well, communism won't work because planned economies won't work. And then you're like, well, what's a planned economy? And he's like, I don't have to know what a planned economy is to have this argument.
Literally this.
Do I? Do I? Okay,
Yes,
can
you
you
have
name
to
me
be
a
able to.
single
Okay,
planned economy
all
that
right.
has one?
Let's just get into it. Let's just get
I don't
into
know
it.
what it
I'm
is.
going to stop being nice. We're going to stop being nice. Tell us what part of China's planned economy failed. Tell us the exact parts.
Once again, I don't have to tell you what failed about it. I can literally just point to the fact. I can point to the fact that post 1989,
Hey man,
they literally
hey,
implemented
Ragard,
capitalism, and since then it's
Ragard.
been
Listen,
booming.
man, listen,
Would you like to
Ragard,
live in China
Ragard,
pre
Ragard.
1989?
Listen, man,
Probably
listen,
fucking not.
listen. Yes, I would. Listen, man, listen.
Oh, you would. Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
just want to.
Oh, yeah,
They
you
have
wouldn't
better
have an
caloric
iPhone.
intake than the United States, but just because you're crashing out doesn't mean that I have to give a fuck about the crash out. Listen, man, if you don't know, just say you don't know and concede. Like it's super easy. What part of China's planned economy failed before 1989? Just tell us the exact part and exactly how it failed.
Me answering that, like, that doesn't make a difference.
All right, that sounds suspiciously not like an answer. We're going to ask you again, Rhaegar.
Yeah, move
I just
on.
want to know what part of China's structure of their planned economy failed before 1989? That's super
Once
easy.
again, I don't have to engage in that. I can
Oh,
What's
literally
that
point to the
like?
fact
You not have
that
to engage with that.
post-capitalism, or pre-capitalism, China
This
was
is
a dog shit country,
absolute.
and
All
no
right,
one here.
shut
I
your
don't
bitch ass up,
know.
nigga. Let's just go ahead and pick a different country. Shut your bitch ass up about China.
Oh,
Let's
and
just
now I
ahead
have to go and pick a different country. Why would I pick a different country?
Because you don't know about China.
Why can't you
You
review what
don't
I'm
know
saying?
about China because you don't know about China.
China sucked pre
Now
1989.
look, man,
China post
listen,
1989.
listen. You can't tell us what happened in China pre-1989, so you don't get to talk about it. Just pick a new country, bro. You conceded on that.
No. I didn't.
All right, if you don't pick a new country, you just conceded
Dude,
the
you're
entire
literally
argument.
sitting and muting me. What
All
kind
right,
of debate?
that's a second concession. If you get to 3, we're just gonna kick you.
No, once again, because you haven't.
All right, excellent. That was an awesome concession. I told you if you get to 3, we're just gonna kick you. We're not gonna sit here and entertain bullshit. We're not gonna sit here and entertain because I feel like it's bad. Like that's not something we're gonna do. Capitalist, how old are you?
Yeah, I will wanted to mention the economic calculation problem.
Wait, how old are you?
18.
All right, cool. What's your argument against communism?
That communism doesn't have market prices, so the goods can be distributed good. You know,
Prove it.
I mean, it's impossible to the state to know.
No, wait, hold on. You're just
what
about to
the-
repeat real quick. You're just about to repeat the claim. I want you to now show evidence that the claim is more likely true than not true. That's what proof is to me.
I mean,
So I just need the evidence now.
the evidence is history. I mean,
Okay,
there
what
is
country?
no, there, for example, I mean, a capitalist with
Wait. I don't want an
market prices,
example. Hold on. I don't want an example. This is very simple. You said that communism doesn't have price signals, so we don't know what to produce. I'm asking you to show evidence that is more possibly true than not true. In this particular case, what I'm asking you is to show evidence that is 100% true because it's a mathematic equation and proof is a mathematic word. So you should have an example clear as day. So when I say what country this happened in, you should be naming a country.
I mean, all the communist countries.
Which one?
I mean, communism, well, socialism. I mean,
That's cool. I understand what you mean. Which one?
for example, I mean, the URSS, like the Russia.
The USSR?
Yeah, the
The USSR did not have an ECP problem. The USSR produced well enough for their population.
I mean, it was socialist. So,
What?
Can you name? Can we do this real quick? Can you just name something that they were unable to produce because they couldn't calculate it?
No. I mean, the economic calculation problem doesn't mean that one country is unable to produce something. I mean,
Yes.
demonstrates that the state doesn't know how many, like the quantity, the number of
Yeah,
something to
I
do.
know what ECP is, right? And I'm
Okay.
asking you to name something that because of the ECP, the USSR could not produce.
Okay. I mean,
Name
no.
name
The
a
USSR,
name a thing.
the USSR, the what something that the USSR couldn't produce. You mean?
I'm asking you to show me a shortage because of ECP in the USSR.
I mean, it failed. Like it failed.
So you can't
Communism.
name one? You can't name a
I mean,
shortage?
I can. Yeah, I can search. Yeah, I can search. I don't
You're
know.
gonna search? So when you came up here, you didn't know.
No. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't have memory for all those things. But I don't. I know. O sea, I know that the ESCP problem is real.
I'm saying show me where it was a problem.
I mean, it's it's not could be. So it can be like that. Like, it can be demonstrated like that. It's like logic. I mean,
Wait,
it's an argument.
stop.
He can't
We're gonna
demonstrate.
stop. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. This is a mathematical equation. What you're telling me is that you can't demonstrate math?
No, I mean,
There's no
I
way.
can.
Oh man,
Yes, you can.
I would hate to be him right now.
I hate
What?
these arguments. I gotta go back to work soon though, babe.
No, I mean, you can search the economic calculation problem and see and look it up, you know?
Show me where it was a problem in the USSR. What
It
industry?
failed. It failed. Communism failed.
Not at production.
Well, I mean, it was.
They didn't fail at production.
fault. I mean, it was
Show me where they
inefficient.
failed.
Inefficient.
Show
It was
me.
inefficient.
Show me where their production failed.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know all the data of the USSR.
This is just a concession. This is just a concession.
I mean, I didn't study exactly the case.
Then why are you debating the ECP
I mean,
and the USSR?
no, and you can search the economic calculation problem and see that it's.
I know what the economic calculation
okay,
problem
okay,
is, and it
so-
doesn't give
so-
any data. So when you search the economic calculation
Okay,
problem,
I don't.
it does not give you data. And certainly not about the USSR. Your claim is that the USSR failed because of the economic calculation problem. So I'm asking you to show me how the ECP caused the USSR to fail. And you can't do it.
I have the information over here. I have the information over here.
Because you're lying.
But the Soviet Union used physical quantities, tons of steel, numbers of bolts, rather than market prices to coordinate production across state enterprises. Arbitrary prices, while money existed for consumer goods and wages, prices for industrial and capital goods were fixed by bureaucrats rather than determined by supply and demand. Okay, that's not the information, sorry. One moment.
Well, this is fun.
No, it's okay.
The USSR didn't collapse because of any sort of production issue. Do you know why they collapsed?
Yeah, I can.
Why?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, instability in the government, and I think there were some people that make like the government was not as stable than before. You know, I mean, I think
It was illegally dissolved. It was because of capitalist intervention. Can everyone
no,
please-
but that's one reason. That's not all
Can everyone do me a favor, please? He's gonna go get data, I guess. Can we please like and repost and also share because we are doing mutual aid for Gary, Indiana. It is on the background. And also on the sticker, Chairman Mayo, if you go to his profile, he's been posting videos about Gary as well as the link tree is in his bio. There are two separate links in the link tree. One is for the High Thurman Community Garden that was destroyed during the historic storms that they had on August 11th. And then one is a more general one for the people of Gary so that you can help them directly because they have had no power for 2 weeks now, which also means like things that are vital are inaccessible. There is no food on the shelves. You cannot store food. Gas stations, a lot of them are not working. This is all because of the infrastructure. Gary is being neglected by the rest of Indiana during this time. So, yeah, if anyone could please help out. Capitalist, are you ready?
Yeah,
to
I found some information. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're supposed to show me that the USSR failed because of the ECB.
No. I mean, there were more reasons, but one of those reasons was, in fact, the economic calculation problem.
Okay, show me.
I mean, for example, I have a hit where I have to.
This isn't going anywhere. You should have been able to do this like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I didn't think that the debate would go that far.
You didn't think that you would make a claim and then we would ask you to back that claim?
No, I mean, the economic calculation problem is an argument. I mean, it's an
It's an argument that you have to prove.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm. I wonder if this works to charge my laptop. I don't think it does. I think I need to go get a charger. I'll give you like 2 more minutes, and then I'm just gonna move on because this is
Yeah. No,
you're
nice.
just you're really like unprepared, you know?
Yes, that's true.
I don't know where my charger is.
Okay. Okay, I have it here. Okay. Although the USSR managed to industrialize by force and prioritize straightforward sectors such as mass steel or arms.
What year?
Um,
What year was that? Would that be
Or
maybe
arms
during like
production.
World War II?
No, I mean, the USSR in fact industrialized like the economy. I mean,
I'm asking you what year. What year did they prioritize steel and weapons?
That doesn't say. I mean, I don't know.
You don't.
Anyway, okay, nice. The
pretty
system
sure-
collapsed.
I'm pretty sure they produce their own steel.
Yes,
look
yes.
that up?
I'm not. I'm not like refusing that point. I mean, I accept that the USS industrialized itself. But it was. I mean, the point that I'm trying to demonstrate that the socialism that was applied in the USSR was in fact more inefficient than capitalism.
You haven't been able to prove that though.
Yes, okay. I'm
Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna drop you down. I'm gonna be on here for the next 2 hours. Do you want to come back with a better argument?
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Go study or something? I don't know. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Had like 2 concessions so far. Hi, can I have your age?
Hi, my age is 40 years old. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. I'm going to be really brief, and I'm not prepped to full on debate you guys, but I just want to kind of present you with my idea. Please, by all means, blow some holes in it, and maybe I walk away, I learned something. I believe the economic calculation problem is real, but I also believe it is greatly over exaggerated with people just desperately looking for some semblance of an academic argument to make against communism. But I do believe that the ECP explains the noteworthy shortages that we did see in the Soviet economy.
What
These were not crippling shortages by any means,
What
but the
shortage?
Soviet economy, they did produce less, beef, for example. There was less meat in the Soviet diet. That's backed by that famous CIA report that all of us have at least once pulled out to show someone that, no, there's plenty of food in the Soviet Union. It's just not what you eat. It's not what you eat, American.
What year?
Specific year of the report?
Mhm.
That's what you're asking? The year of the report?
What decade are they referencing? Because I can tell you why they had a shortage of cattle, and it's not because of ECP.
Are you referring to the cattle shortage during dekulakization when the kulaks were slaughtering their livestock just out of spite?
Yeah, about 158 million cattle.
I believe this is post World War II. I'm pulling up the report now, if that's okay. Okay. See, they updated it in 2009. Obviously, this isn't from 2009. Damn it. I could have sworn it was from the 1950s. So while I'm scanning this report here, would the two of you, you're more enlightened than I am, would the two of you perhaps tell me, do Marxists or do communists in general, do they acknowledge there is any ECP?
Stop.
Go ahead.
Keep on with the cattle. Let's follow that all the way through.
We're just talking about cattle now.
Well, that's the shortage
Okay.
that you told me about. And we know that in the 1930s, 158 million cattle were unnecessarily slaughtered. And then we also know that during World War II, there was a war. Pretty big one, worldwide even.
Okay, so was it post-war scarcity? Is that it?
I'm asking you to
I'll
tell
believe
me.
you.
I'm asking you to tell me because that's your example.
Yeah, see, okay, I'm going to be transparent and upfront with you. I do not know the precise reason for it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with ECP.
Okay,
This has to do with the material conditions that they were in.
material conditions, because beef is so resource intensive to create, is that it requires more acreage, more feed, more water, and that wasn't abundant after the Second World War. Is that where this is going?
You're talking about like many parts of Europe being like absolutely war torn, and then we just
Okay.
talked about in the 1930s that like millions and millions of cows were slaughtered. It takes a while to like get the population back up. Like for instance, in a 2-year period alone, from 31 to 32, 75% of all horses in the USSR were slaughtered by the kulaks.
No, I knew that. I know how the collectivization of agriculture was, how it was implemented. I know what went wrong, what went right, and believe me, I'm on board. I get it.
All right. Well,
I didn't realize it was still by the 1950s. I didn't realize it was still a relevant factor to livestock populations.
What was going on in the 50s?
Cold
Still
War.
at war, right?
Right.
Right. So, yeah. Like we're talking about countries that existed under wartime for their whole existence. But I appreciate you. Unless you have an argument, I'm gonna drop you.
Can I? Didn't the Soviet Union also experience shortages right up until the 1980s?
What
in
shortages specifically?
consumer electronics, which had, through the 80s, had just taken off in popularity throughout the West. Now, is this another case where they were just a few years behind because they developed later, they industrialized later, or?
No, this is because of the sanctions. The sanctions and
Couldn't
embargo.
trade. Okay, couldn't trade with anybody, so they couldn't build them. Okay, fair. And is silly, like, maybe I'm asking you guys too many questions. I know you were looking for debate, and I'm sorry, but
You're fine.
would in any sense allowing a small private sector, in the sense that China allows a small private sector that does not influence the government, do you believe that would have circumvented any of these shortages? Because in my opinion, I think China's about as good as it gets. I think their system, their economic system and social organization is superior to what the Soviet Union built.
Sean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to take this one? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. The only reason China opened up its markets or perceived to open up its markets to private industry was in order to trade to not be under embargo.
I agree.
So, like, I would say to say that it's superior, I don't know what you're indexing superiority to, because, like, the only reason as to why the USSR or any other country really has issues with, like, any kind of production that they have today or back in the day was because of sanctions and embargoes implemented on them by imperial, like, nations that wanted everything from them.
When I say it's superior, I believe China has shown us the absolute best when it comes to central planning their economy. They've taken Western foreign investment and they've kind of turned it into a benefit rather than a liability to them, because now they're the ones developing a lot of this technology that was originally just sent over there for cheap labor and to be manufactured, but now they're leading the way in a lot of these industries. Electronic vehicle manufacturing and design. I read an interesting report that General Motors can no longer produce a hybrid electric vehicle without help from their Chinese subsidiary, SAIC. And not just heavy industry, smartphones. I'm sure you already know about Huawei and cellular infrastructure. Huawei has that market cornered as well. And none of this is from licensed technology from the West. This is all now homegrown because they learned when they started doing business with the West, but they surpassed the West because they are state planned, and the state puts investment where it needs to go instead of where it's the most profitable. Any thoughts?
No, I hear what you're saying. What I was talking about in particular was, like, when you say superiority, like, I think China would be leagues ahead of where they are today if it weren't for globalized capitalism, like, threatening famine in China in the 1960s and 70s. Like, I believe that Cuba would be leagues ahead today. It's just fucking true. It's I don't want to say objectively true, but, like, Cuba's advancements, even with embargoes, are, like, leagues ahead of, like, the United States. So if they didn't have embargoes, like, what I'm saying is, without the embargoes, these would be, like, even further ahead. Whereas in the current state of things, yeah, sure, everything that you're saying, planned economies just do better than like, what people call purely capitalist economies.
I see what you're saying. So it's not the successes of having a small private sector or showing the West what a real mixed economy looks like. Liberals talk about mixed economy all the time, but I then say to that liberal, well, China, that's China. You're describing China, mixed economy. It doesn't meet the definition you'd get for one in a textbook, but it's mixed. They have a capitalist mode of production, but they have a socialist mode of production, and one is clearly superior to the other. All right, I appreciate how you explained that to me. Thank you very much. I don't want to take up any more time on your panel. Thanks, guys. All
Thank you.
right, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we got Mayo.
I don't think China has a capitalist mode at all. I don't think there's anything as a mixed economy, but he's on his way.
What's up, Mayo?
Hey, how's it going? I'm catching my breath. Give me a second.
Yeah, I don't know. If you guys can, please keep reposting. I would appreciate it. Keep liking. We are trying to do mutual aid. Mayo's going to tell us about it in just a second here.
All right, I think I'm good. You want me to dive right into like the Gary,
Go for
what's going
it.
on in Gary?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. It's hard not to yap, especially like coming from a historical materialist lens.
Yap as much and however you want to. Go for it.
I think before I say what the weather situation at hand, I think everyone should try to learn about the history of Gary. It's very important, and I think it helps with the context of where Gary's at today. So, like in the late 1800 or like 1890 or something, there's a guy from Illinois who moved out of there with the plan of industrializing the area. The area was initially it's like swamp area, right? But the location of Gary was important when it comes to like trading along the lakes, right? Moving stuff around along the lakes from Michigan, Canada. So it was ideal for a hub. And I think about 1905, as they started to grow the steel industry in Gary, a lot of black families from the South moved up there for jobs, right? Decades to come, Gary was like a industrial powerhouse, right? The economy there was booming. But just like following the trend of like capitalist relations, they seen that it was more profitable to ship a lot of the jobs overseas for cheaper labor, as unionizing and demanding more money because of the conditions within the workplace. People were dying within those steel mills and stuff like that. Even to this day, someone just died recently in one of the steel mills in Burns Harbor. So as it started to de-industrialize in Gary, there was what people know is redlining and white flight. And a lot of the areas surrounding Gary would be like Maryville, Lake Station, and others were once part of Gary. But what they did is rezoned it, right? And this is where a lot of the what I would call like white labor aristocrats moved. And those are the ones who still maintained the jobs within what was left of the steel mills. And so as they did this, it created a huge economic collapse for who was left in Gary, which were the black families, right? And decades and decades to come, you've seen the after effects of what that looked like, which I just wanted to put that out. There's so much more to go into this, but it leads up to like today, right? But in 2008, there was a flood in Gary that because that Indiana lacked putting any type of infrastructure to combat like flooding within the area. Gary was hit harder than any other part in Indiana or Northwest Indiana, which made families lose their homes. They lost infrastructure, institutions like schools, fire departments, all those things. Instead of them trying to fix them and bring them back, they just condemned them, right? So when you go through Gary, you see you see the history like right before your eyes of how much it's been like it's been racialized, it's been abandoned, it's been the way it's been treated in all these conditions, right? Because that neglect has also led up to what we see today. Because some people are like, oh, what's different than Gary than anywhere else in Northwest Indiana, or let's say Ohio, who had lost their power, right? I think the distinctions are a lot bigger. And so August 11th, about 10:30, there was a historical storm, right? Where it wasn't just like a regular storm. There was a tornado surrounding the area. And mind you, a lot of people don't know this. A couple months ago, Gary got hit by a tornado right on the border of Gary. Their high school got hit by a tornado. A lot of people don't know that. This happened a couple months ago. So this storm wiped out trees, power lines. There's stuff all over the place in Northwest Indiana. So why people are making it a more of a centered around Gary, right, is because Gary, the neglect that happened to Gary over the utility companies is making it where they're feeling it a lot harder than the surrounding areas in Gary. So NIPSCO, which is a utility company that's creating a monopoly, it's a state monopoly, right? All utility companies in the U.S. are state monopolies, right? Which is the state is the ones who approves how they operate within a certain criteria, right? So NIPSCO has been doubling and quadrupling fees for maintenance and infrastructure, right? They're saying this because the growth in the Northwest Indiana predicates this. And also we know the truth is that they have investors, right? That they have to get profits to their investors. So what this means to this is that when you look at your bills, you see that you pay for maintenance and upkeep for the infrastructure that like power lines and power boxes and, you know, all these type of things, right? So you're paying for this. But when you go to Gary and you go to the power lines, right? Part of the maintenance is keeping vegetation down. And this is why I brought up that it's a swamp, like this is initially a swampland area, right? Vegetation grows very fast, right? So you have to maintain it. So the Gary area has been neglected by NIPSCO, where they have not maintained these power lines and infrastructure. So this neglect has come to a head because when the storm hit, they were unable to go fix these power lines and power boxes because they could not get access to these power lines. And this wasn't pointed out by NIPSCO themselves. They're not going to highlight. It was all these external companies that came in to help NIPSCO restore power. Were like, look, what the hell's going on here? You guys have been neglecting Gary. You guys are supposed to like maintain these where you could get access. And it showed how they purposely and intentionally have been neglecting Gary, which is an 85% Black city. So that's one of the big things that we are dealing with in the Gary area. When dealing with the power outage in the area there was also back-to-back like rainstorms, right? So for those who are not in areas that like could be subjected to floods, like Gary is one, and it's necessary for you to have a sub pump. So when some pumps don't work because there's no electricity, your house is going to flood. So all these homes in Gary got flooded if they did not have access to $1,000 generator. They did not have some way of getting their electricity going, because it's been actually 2 weeks. It's been 14 days since it's went out. They're incrementally now starting to get into parts of Gary. Miller Beach just got their power back on yesterday, which is one of the areas which they're trying to gentrify. And this is another thing that when it comes to natural disasters, a lot of times these insurance companies and developers use this. Think about like where this happens anywhere else, where they try to make sure that poor people get pushed out so then they could come and buy up these homes and then flip them, because Northwest Indiana is becoming it's becoming the next big thing as far as development, right? The Bears stadium is moving to Hammond, so people are trying to buy up all the properties. The Whiting area, which is right next to Hammond, just got completely flipped and turned into like a petite bourgeois like neighborhood where all the people from Chicago who have money come over here where lower taxes into Whiting, and they just kind of took over. They want to do that in Hammond and Gary. So what they want to do is push out anything that they feel would get in the way of their development plans and them making money, which is pushing poor people away. So this falls right into their gentrification. Like it only benefits the rich, and they're purposely going to be denying claims. They're not going to be able to get claims for they call it faulty sub pumps. So they're using clauses saying that the sub pump not working is not our fault, so we're not going to cover your house that got flooded, things of that nature. So the people who are going to start getting their power on, right, who's been flooded, their entire houses are probably going to become condemned and destroyed, or they're going to be ridden with mold. So there is a lot, even when the power comes back on, anticipating within the next week that most people in Gary are going to have their power back on, the after effects are going to be drastic. So donating and helping people try to get their stuff fixed, because the insurance companies are going to leave them out to hang. So sorry I had to rant. There's so much that comes into it. I try to put it all into one.
No, it's good. It's good to give all of the context that you can for the situation so that people can really like understand like the material conditions that they're in. I would really suggest that people follow Mayo and like go to his link tree, because he has 2 links in there where you can help out. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that or not.
Yeah. So I know a lot of activists that are on the ground out in Gary, Northwest Indiana, and one of the groups have linked up with a mutual aid, like a relief group, which has been around since 2017. And they do a lot of work when it comes to coming to communities who are being neglected. And this is just another way of making sure that all the like funding and materials are being like accounted for. They already have been bringing before that mutual aid link that's particular to Gary was created a few days ago. They were already bringing stuff out here that they already had. So they were already pre-existing. They didn't just start because of this situation. So they are legit. They work with like groups in the area that like it's called Joy Bomb Social Club. There's People's Defense Committee. There's other ones that are all tied into it they were just on the ground helping out this weekend, and there's still got more stuff to come. So you could go to that link and you could donate. The other thing in the link is called the High Thurman Community Garden. That's right there on the border of Gary and Lake Station. That's a community garden that's 100% grassroots, and it got completely destroyed. The garden boxes or raised beds were made out of like pallets, like that they cut up and put together, and so they weren't like metal, or they weren't built to withstand something like this. So you could go on there's only a Facebook page for it, but you could see on the Facebook page the pictures of how it got destroyed, but you know what it was before. Community members that are still participating in food drives are still doing it out of the community garden, just not utilizing the vegetables and stuff that were grown there, because there's trees and stuff that were on top of the beds and, you know, stuff like that. So there's a wish list for that, for getting beds and other things that most likely won't be able to get used this year because it's so late in the season, but we'll be able to rebuild the community garden for next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mayo. We really appreciate you.
No, thank you. I appreciate you bringing all the attention to it.
No, anytime. You want to stay up and debate? You want to debate with us?
I'll try. I don't got very much time, but I'll stay up for a little bit longer. And if I drop, just know why.
No worries. All right. DA wants to come up real quick. He's been asking to come up. So after DA, we'll get back to debating.
Yeah. Hey, Ash, just want to say that I appreciate that you seem to understand the difference between class first versus class only, which are two separate things. Because yeah, like I just encountered like a gender reductionist, which like is a thing if you reduce to gender, and you can also be a race reductionist as well. But class reductionism is when it's class only, which is different from class first, which
I'm
you
not,
achieve those goals through class. So it's like you achieve the goals for those other struggles because through
let's stop for a second. I'm not class first. I'm not class first. You're wrong. I think that the primary contradiction in the United States is settler colonialism and white supremacy. That's incorrect. But okay, DA, I'm gonna drop you down.
That's like I want to like ask about that just like real quick if possible. Because in my mind, class only is class reductionism. That's rejecting other struggles as if they're not important, right?
Mhm.
Class first, in my mind, is saying, okay, these are all equally important struggles, and to achieve the goals of these struggles, we need to focus on class, so because
I
that
don't
is,
think they're equally important.
I mean, we can't put race above gender, gender above race. Like they're equally important in like a
Did you hear what
like
I said? Did you hear what I said was the primary contradiction?
white supremacy.
Mhm.
But that's like I fit that under the race umbrella because that's a race issue, right?
No, it's everything. It's not only like racism. It's also like misogyny and everything else. Okay, I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
Okay, I thought patriarchy would be under the gender umbrella.
I don't know what's going on. It sounds like he got into an argument with feminists and he wants me to like agree with him without context, which is not gonna happen for sure. All right, Elmer, how old are you? Elmer, you with us? Okay. Try Zach. He's hunting rabbits is so funny. Do we not have opposition? Can you guys please like and share? I'd so appreciate it. Secular Mormon is requesting. So.
Secular Mormon?
What is that?
You can ask him how this.
I have no idea. I don't think anyone is here still. I'm gonna clear it out. I'm just gonna clear out the whole thing because I don't think anybody's here. All right. If you oppose communism, go ahead and request. Now is your time to shine. And also, I appreciate you guys liking and reposting. It helps us get opposition. It also helps us draw attention to the mutual aid, which is very much appreciated. Oh, the chat found someone they want to come up. I don't know how to say their name. I want to say Adidas, but I know it's just one D. Hi,
Hi,
what's your age?
48.
48?
Yes.
What's your argument?
I have no arguments. I actually I don't want to be in this discussion because English is not
Okay.
my English is not very good. Just I'm too tired to.
Oh,
All right, guys, we're looking for some debates. If you disagree with the topic on the background, then send in a guest request and we'll get you up here to make your argument against communism.
Oh, Dolly Parton died? That's sad.
Rest in peace, Dolly.
Hi.
What's up, Ash? What's up, Sean? What's up, Mayo?
Oh my goodness.
Are you here
Don't
to
do that.
debate?
I'm actually here to facilitate a debate, if that's
I
okay.
thought so.
Yeah, I
I
wanted to
thought so.
facilitate
Please
a
don't do
debate.
it. I knew
Mayo,
it
are
was
you
gonna
here?
do it.
How did I know this was coming?
So, Mayo, everyone follow Mayo, right? Everyone follow Mayo. Let's censor Mayo. Mayo has one of the best analyses on China, so I would like to see that debate right now. I seen the video, yeah, right now. I seen the video on China being social imperialist, and I agree. And so let's get into that.
Let's not and say we did.
Wait. Wait. Look, I don't like this shit because Maoists are so like ostracized and quarantined on this app in real life, right? We teach Maoists to shrink themselves. That's what we do.
Is that what we do?
Yeah, that's what we do. Mayo, is that not what we do?
I feel as though a lot of Maoists outside of Mayo. Never mind.
No, Noah just likes to center me, even when I don't want to be centered.
I was just like, I saw you come up like mid China talk, and I'm like, Mayo, you not saying anything is kind of hurting my heart right now. But I guess we pick our battles. I don't know.
It's really just this live is kind of always been the, what is it called? When you like play tag or whatever, and there's like the special zone. I don't know, Switzerland.
It just doesn't seem like it's a safe space for Maoists. And so I came up here because I wanted to like cultivate that and like have Mayo feel accepted here.
You wanted to make sure he felt accepted.
And it's not about him. Like he thinks I'm centering him. This is about Maoists too. Like I'm sticking up for the Maoists. I read Mao's critique of Soviet economics and he fucking mogs Stalin. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's going through the economic problems in the USSR and like Stalin was silent after that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Stalin said a word after that shit came out.
Dead.
Yeah, exactly. He had nothing
Bro.
to say.
Why is Noah such a troll?
I don't know. I love it.
Ash's lives are where we have our internal like debates and our line struggles.
Don't line struggle here. You guys go line struggle somewhere else. Just kidding. All right. Are you gonna stay up, Noah?
I like running, so I'm probably gonna drive. I'm a little scared.
Hello, comrade. Can we just get this fucking shit over?
Are you in a jar? Can we
Huh?
let him out of the jar?
Yeah. Communism is dead. It is not fucking possible.
I
Can
can't
you fucking
hear
stop the
him.
bullshit?
I can't hear you.
Stop this, bro.
I can't hear you.
Yes, you fucking can.
No.
You sound really bad, bro. Like you don't sound like I don't know what it sounded like, but it didn't sound clear.
It sounded like he was calling in from like Dean Withers' bathtub water. Oh, this person wants to come back up. I thought you don't want to debate.
Yeah, I just have an question.
We're
Like
looking for debates.
like opposite question as you like. Can you say any good example of communism as a country?
All of them.
Like which one?
Every single one that ever existed.
Like which one?
All. In total.
Like which one?
Like all. Like
Well,
Cuba,
it's not enough.
Cuba, Burkina Faso, Laos, Grenada,
Okay,
Vietnam,
how
China,
to
the USSR.
Cuba was the first and so on. How do you explain that that country go in good way?
Do you want to debate?
We can discuss.
I'm looking for a debate.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna drop you down. Because earlier you said that you don't want to debate. If you decide that you'd like to debate, come back up. Hi. Can I have your
Hello there.
age? Age,
I'm
please.
25. I'm 25.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Debate on communism with you're basically communist. I can see the USSR flag behind you. And why do you support communism? Do you see it anywhere in the world basically working?
Yep. Worked everywhere, every time.
Whereabouts?
Everywhere. Every time.
Where is everywhere? That's my question.
Everywhere it was. It worked. Every time.
Tell me an example of a country that is successful and is communistic country. That's my point.
Yeah. USSR, Cuba, Laos.
USSR has fallen. Why?
What is your metrics that you're using for success?
Success means that it created a stable society which did not have any kind of inflictions with the neighbors, that did not take advantage of its own people, which basically providing the help to the people. China, the government is super rich, the people are not.
Wait, before you move on. I like the metrics that you're giving. And based on what you said, the USSR would have been successful. However, if I apply those same metrics to capitalist countries would not be successful.
You live in one for more than 200 years. It's been capitalistic country and is working quite well. That's my point.
I live in one?
You live in America, right?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the argument?
It is a capitalistic country. It's giving opportunities to the ones that they're handing them.
Where I live has like no bearing on what you're saying though. So the metrics that you gave, the things that you find to be successful, all of that existed in the Soviet Union, but I can't apply that to a capitalist country and then say that capitalist countries are successful. Can you name me a successful capitalist country?
US is a very successful one. Denmark is very successful one, even though it got a monarchy at the same time. It's a democratic capitalistic ideology.
Pick one. Just one.
What? Okay, Denmark.
Okay, how is Denmark successful?
Denmark got the happiest index in the whole world, I think after Iceland, something like that. People do have the welfare. People do share the welfare and they have a higher taxes and they're sharing a welfare. Everyone have an opportunity for a business to grow there because the government does help at the same time, but it does not kind of barricading you into a bracket.
How do they quantify happiness?
Happiness means that your quality of life and the working hours that you need to contribute to the society in order to get paid to live is not as much. Happiness means that in your ordinary life, in your everyday life, you do have a quite good balance with your family, work, food, everything. That's a quality of life and the happiness index that is giving.
Can I ask a question real quick? Oh, I don't know how to say your name, but
Zaka.
Zaka, do you study Denmark like closely?
Not closely, but I'm just giving a small, bold example of how Denmark is scoring always high in a capitalistic society.
Right. So I want to say one thing. A lot of Denmark's policies are predicated off like third-party like imperialism, and what I mean by that is like they get like benefits off working with imperialist countries. And another thing, there was like a study that was done, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago on these happy countries, these Nordic models that are like happy, whatever, right? A lot of those models are racist as hell, right? They don't let some people from certain demographics within these countries. And another thing is they have a high unaliving rate where they're trying to figure out how can these populations be happy but also unaliving themselves. Like, it doesn't
There
make
is
sense.
study, and I can give you why is this happening. They have a little sun exposure every year, so serotonin level is significantly lower to those guys. That's why the unaliving statistics are much higher. But at the same time, working balance, life balance, family balance is one of the highest in the whole world. That's the point.
Wait, I didn't catch that. There was a high self-unaliving rate for what?
Yeah, this is happening in all the Nordic countries, as you mentioned, because they have less sun exposure. Your eye is grabbing two things, vitamin D and serotonin production when you see sun. They don't have much of a sun exposure, therefore they have less serotonin, therefore they have higher chances of developing depression. That's why.
So you're saying that their happiness is in conflict with how much sun they get?
Basically, what I'm saying is physiologically, they do have some lack of vitamins, basically balancing the hormone levels. But apart from that, the life score is the highest. Yeah.
Well, maybe they should move to a communist country and get more sun. I don't know. That's a weird claim.
What is the tell me, communistic country now that is working well, people are not starving, because half of my family is coming from the old USSR, and I can tell you very well, when I visited there, they had no even money for a house. They were living in a train carrier. So trust me, I'm telling you from experience.
That was because of capitalism, but you didn't address anything that Mayo said.
I'm addressing you now. Okay,
you're not.
I'll tell you what. Communistic societies are always in favor of the lazy people.
Hold on. This doesn't address anything. This doesn't address anything that Mayo said in direct contradiction to what you talked about with the happiness index in a place. Like you basically gave, well, they're just low vibrational creatures in Denmark. Like it just was just.
I'm just saying that based on
the really where you want to. That's really where you want to end it. Just like they don't do enough
I just
sunbathing.
explain you physiologically why do they have so much unaliving rates, but at the same time the quality of life is much higher than what we live in the communist countries, for example.
Wait,
I gave you the answer, but you don't want to accept it. That's all about it.
Yeah, it's because the answer just doesn't make any sense. Like it's just like
it doesn't to you.
So
it's
what
fine.
you're saying is that like the quality of life is better and they're happier, but they're also not happier because they don't get enough sunlight. That's a direct contradiction.
It is not. It is
so
not.
happy, but they're killing themselves.
They are having higher chances of developing depression due to lack of serotonin. That's something that's caused by the environmental issues. State-wise, they are much more convenient.
It could be supplemented. Why aren't they giving people like vitamin D and C supplements?
They do, but it's not always as efficient. That's my point. They have significantly lower, and it has to be caught on time to get the supplements in order to not to develop any kind of mania depression.
There's like artificial ways though to do that. So it sounds like they're just like.
It is. We can take another example, Switzerland. We can take it, which the unaliving rates is much lower.
Why are we moving without reconciling the contradiction?
There isn't contradiction. That's why something you have to
They're
understand.
happier, but they're also not happier is a direct contradiction.
The one is environmental issue. The other one, we're talking about societal. Yeah, it is
so then their
nothing
happiness
to do with each
index.
other.
So then their happiness index is a lie.
They are happy with the quality
like
of life.
happiness index has to do with like subjective experience.
But they're scoring the higher.
Why hasn't Sweden been successful? If they're so successful, why hasn't not Sweden? Sorry, why hasn't Denmark been successful in creating something that would like change that not thought process? Well, it is thought process, self-unaliving rates, depression, all that shit. Like, why haven't they like created anything that would like counteract that?
They are on development for that one. Anyways, all Nordic countries are actually doing a massive research.
If they're so successful, why haven't they done it already? If capitalism is so great, like why hasn't it done that?
Are you telling me that one country, because of the high unaliving rates, can sort all psychological issues at once?
That's not.
If you're making the argument, hold on, I'm gonna double down in this, Ash. You don't even have to worry about it. Yeah, I'm absolutely making this claim. You're claiming that they're extremely successful, especially when it comes to human index happiness. And when you get faced with something that is directly a cause of human happiness, that is a negative, you go, yeah, but that doesn't count. That's called special pleading. So I just want you to reconcile that. Like, why, if they're so successful and their success shows this thing, how come this thing still doesn't have like a cure for it or a vaccine for it, or I don't know, drinking some fucking Sunny Delight. Like why aren't they like doing something to help their citizens with that issue? If
They do.
capitalism is
They
so
do.
great.
That's my point. That's why I'm trying to answer so long. They do.
And
They
they
do have
fail.
a research. Yeah, they do. They do have trials
And they
about
fail.
having.
Right,
No,
so then they fail.
Everything needs a step in order to be successful. You cannot just create a pill
Wait, so
that is
you're
working
saying
for everyone.
they fail, so it's successful. That's what we're saying right now. That's the claim.
No,
right
no,
now?
no. The fact that they haven't reached to the end goal yet, it doesn't mean that they failed. You have to fail a lot of times in order to be successful.
But this is what we're indexing communism for. Like you're doing the same argument for communism. So I don't
The
understand why. it
communistic
wouldn't
mark
apply to
is
communism.
different because they unalive 30
It's
million
different.
lives in
Oh, it's
Bolshevik
different.
Russia.
It's different in communism because when it happens in communism, I like to say that it's a communist fault. But when it happens in capitalism, I like to say that it's just because they haven't gotten there yet, and you got to give them more of a chance.
No,
That's
it's
what
not
we're saying.
about
We're
that.
special
I can
pleading.
give you now the reasoning. Let me explain you fast. When they had a problem with some of the people opposing in Soviet Union with their opinions, what Stalin was doing, he was 30 million dead.
You're not educated enough to talk about the Soviet
I am
Union.
not educated
And we're
enough. You
and
seem
we're
like you're
yes,
not
correct,
educated
correct.
enough, mate.
Listen, I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you. I just want you to.
Yeah,
I just want you, because this is Mayo's thing. Mayo gave you a contradiction. You said that the contradiction is not valid because you are okay with the contradiction. I'm not okay with the contradiction, so I need you to reconcile the contradiction. It's super
I
easy.
didn't
They're
reconcile.
happy- No, you didn't. What you said is that they're happier, but they're also not happier, and they're successful, but they're also not successful, and you're okay with that. And I'm not, because those are contradictions. So what I want to know is, if capitalism is so successful, why hasn't this thing that creates negative outcomes been successful when trying to combat it within capitalism, in this particular capitalistic nation? If the answer is they haven't done it yet, then the answer is that they failed at doing it. So then they're
Okay.
not successful.
Okay. In all of these communistic countries that you mentioned earlier, like Cuba, USSR,
Hold on,
what do you think
move
was
to
the
a
suicidal
communist-
rate?
Hold on, we're not moving to communist countries. We're
Okay,
still on
let
the
me answer to
contradiction.
your question.
We're still on the Denmarkian contradiction. I just want to
It is
reconcile
not.
the
That's why I was
contradictions first.
explaining you,
We
mate.
can talk about Cuba. We can talk about the
Okay,
USSR
okay.
as
Let
soon
me
as
answer
the
to that.
contradiction. As soon as the contradiction is reconciled.
Okay, let me have a second. Okay, first of all, do you understand what is the societal difference and the environmental difference, where you live and where
We've
is the
already
society
addressed this.
built
This
on?
has been asked and answered. We've already addressed this. I've
But you
asked
addressed
why
it, but it
haven't
doesn't
they, I
make sense.
asked why hasn't this successful capitalist monarchist country apparently done something, if it's so successful, to combat these negative effects of the environment?
But
And
they
what you
did-
said was they're trying and they're failing, but the failure
not saying they're
is
failing.
also
The rates
success.
did drop down.
Okay, so then they have so excellent. Then tell me what the vaccine is to stop this thing from happening.
It's not a vaccine. It's called prevention,
Okay, then tell
which is
me
the best.
what's the medical treatment? Any medical treatment to combat?
Sertraline is sertraline, and they invented it in Denmark. In fact, and what I'm saying is, it's not
And it
100%.
cures this?
It doesn't cure it, but it's preventing it from manifesting.
Citrulline?
Okay, sertraline is called. Yeah, literally, they did invent sertraline.
That's an antidepressant. That's not really solving the sun issue.
It doesn't, but it's a sertraline blocker. The serotonin blocker. Sorry, the serotonin blocker is helping basically the happy hormone to.
They have
That's what it says,
lamps.
Zyrtec.
Zyrtec is probably for you because you need it. But anyways, what I'm saying is,
They have sun lamps. Like, they have special lamps that they can use for this. You realize?
My question is this, because like these things exist, but the results of these things don't exist. That's what you're
They
telling
do
us
have
right
a
now,
lower
because
rate.
the results are still the same. Like what Mayo talked about is still happening, unless I'm mistaken, and it's changed in
is
the
there
last
any
year.
country with 0% unaliving rate?
We're not talking
Self-unaliving?
about 0%. We're not talking
Okay.
about 0%. We're talking about high percentages of, which you agree that there's a high percentage of. So I don't understand why we're moving the goalpost in order for you to not reconcile the contradiction.
Okay,
This is
do
like
you-
super duper easy, bro. Like if you say that it's successful and then you see that they're doing something about it and the thing that they're doing about it isn't successful, I just want you to reconcile the contradiction of it both being successful and not being successful. I don't understand
Okay.
how this is hard. No
So,
pause.
the 2,000 people a year that they're unaliving themselves in Denmark makes the whole society being failed, right? That's what you're telling me.
That's what
The
we're
2,000
talking.
out
We're
of
talking about
20 millions.
Yes, correct.
Okay. You see how you're trying to make
Wait,
over-perfection?
hold on. Listen, this suspiciously
I'm listening
doesn't
for you
sound
half
like
an hour now.
this suspiciously doesn't sound like a reconciliation of the contradiction. Like
It is not contradiction from the beginning.
You've
That's why.
already agreed. You've already agreed that it's high rates. You've agreed that it's higher rates than normal, and you've said that it's because of environmental issues, and they are not successful at combating those environmental issues. But then you said that it is success because they're trying to do it. So they're both successful and not successful. So I just want you to reconcile that contradiction. I don't know what you don't understand. Like, you shouldn't be trying to laugh your way out of it because you're nervous. I don't care about none of that. Just go ahead and reconcile the contradiction.
But you're talking a lot and you're not letting me talk at all. You're saying it's a contradiction.
Okay. I'm gonna let Mary have your hand up for a while. Do you wanna jump in at all? And then we'll have them answer.
Oh, my bad.
Sure. I'm gonna jump down like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna try to like say something real quick about this. I think that what you are trying to do is trying to separate environment issues from everything else that's going on with like productivity. Everything that we do as humans is interacting with the environment, is interacting with nature. You cannot like separate these things, right? The difference in between like communism and that of capitalism is that capitalism is predicated on there being profits and accumulation. This is the primary way that it functions, how it grows. So what you end up seeing is that under capitalism, they would put the profits over anything else that they're dealing with. So what you're saying when it comes to Denmark is that maybe, I'm just going to say just maybe, that the profits and accumulation that was going in Denmark and people's issues medically or whatever, however you want to frame it, are coming in contradiction with each other. Where under communism, we could get rid of putting profits first and put people's health first, because we understand that the things that we make and create, it's necessary that we evaluate the utility of these things that we make, right? So if we are building production in, let's say, Antarctica, right, and people are freezing, right? So how would we organize society in a way to combat that, right? We would organize it to keep people warm, right? Shelter, houses, these things have a use value, right? Houses are built to shelter human beings from the environment, right? These things are produced for these reasons, but under capitalism, they're produced to make profits. So there shows that contradiction.
Okay, may I reply to the things you mentioned? You say as it is that in capitalism, basically everything is made for profit, right? And one of the things I'm agreeing with is bad, that the fact that basically they're becoming, how can I say it now? A bit eager just to do it for the money. I get it. Okay. But one thing that I've seen as a problem in the communistic societies is because even if you are productive or underproductive, you're getting paid the same as the next door neighbor. If you're innovative or not innovative, is the same thing. So people are basically doing the basic functions just to get the paycheck and live. So basically less innovation. And that's my point, that is going to make the country underproductive. When you don't have any more benefit to work harder, to create something.
I don't understand why you're not addressing anything that Mayo said. Like, this doesn't address anything at all. You're just making a new claim.
It's not a new claim. I'm just
It's a very
replying
new
for
claim.
how...
Like, your original claim was that capitalistic economies are successful because they have a higher happiness index. That was addressed by Mayo. You haven't reconciled the contradiction for that. And now what you're saying is that your new argument is that socialism can't work because everyone gets paid the same, which isn't what socialism is, by the way. But that is 100%
We're talking about
new
communism. Socialism and communism is not the same thing. Don't confuse it.
Listen, bro. This is how I know that I'm smarter than you. Listen, just
Yeah,
focus
it's the
on what
same
Mayo
thing,
said.
socialism and communism.
Just focus on what Mayo said. What's the mode of production under communism?
How old are you, man? That's just a question.
What's the mode of production under communism, Saka?
There is not, that's what I'm saying. There is nothing to eager you to work harder
What is
in
the mode of
communism.
production? This suspiciously doesn't sound like a mode of production. What is the mode of production under communism, Saka?
The state.
The state. That's an excellent answer. Absolutely, 100%. I let's just focus on what Mayo said, please.
Okay.
We can go anywhere else after Mayo gets what Mayo said addressed, because
Okay.
you haven't reconciled the contradiction that Mayo brought up, and you haven't reconciled within communism we would structure society so that these things could be successful instead of working for profit. You're just saying that everyone makes the same under socialism, which is a brand new claim. Address what Mayo said,
Communism, not
please.
socialism.
You don't know what communism or socialism is, Saka. Just
I
pay
have read
attention.
Karl
Pay
Marx.
attention.
I have read all of the
listen,
books.
Listen. Okay, excellent. What's the total commodity value of a product?
The total commodity of sorry?
The total commodity value of a product.
I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Okay, excellent. What's the difference between the relationship between a product by the worker and by the owning class?
The difference between the product and the working class.
The relationship between the product.
That is the same people that producing it and the same one consuming it. That's the relationship.
I said, what is the difference? You know what? These are excellent answers, man. You're absolutely owning it right now. Let's just focus on what Mayo said, please.
Okay.
So can you address that contradiction, please?
The fact that you guys viewing it as a contradiction, I said, environmental, okay, I'm not separating it. Let's say I'm not separating it. But what I'm saying is the answer to this capitalistic country, sorting the issue would be to conquer something sulfur in order to have a sun exposure. So it doesn't make sense the way you're saying it. It has to do a lab research. It has to do medical trials. It has to do all of these things in order to achieve what...
This doesn't answer the question. You're just making excuses for as to why they haven't
There's
done
no
it yet.
excuses.
What we
It's
want to
just you
know,
cannot understand my
is
point.
that if they are so successful, why haven't they gotten it done yet? That's like the ultimate question. Because like Mayo posited that within socialism, because you don't like the term communism apparently. Mayo posited that within socialism we would structure society so that these things would be found out. Instead of the research going to profit, it would go to human need, which means that we would figure out how to reconcile these contradictions within our society. What we're asking you is that if capitalism's so good, why capitalism no address contradiction? I don't know how easier I can ask this question.
Okay. Basically, you want me to answer to why this country hasn't done anything, even though it has done something. Why from the one day to another hasn't...
No, we're asking why it hasn't been successful.
Let's pass this one then. Okay. So when you work 30 hours a week instead of working 50 hours a week to earn the same money, because the state does allow it, because the economy does work, because you are a productive country, because you're a capitalistic country, that means that you have more free time for yourself and enjoy what you finish, man. Let
You've
me
already,
finish. You're
you've
not
already
allowing me
made
to
this
finish.
claim. The
Okay.
claim, we understand the claim. We understand that you think that they're happier. What was posited to you was a contradiction in happiness because people self-unalive. What you have posited is that people self-unalive because of the lack of sunlight. The question then became, if capitalism is so successful, why hasn't capitalism addressed the sunlight issue that causes the high unalivement rate? We're not asking you about what indexes happiness in the whatever it is survey that you read. We understand that claim. We're asking about the contradiction. If capitalism is so successful, why hasn't this contradiction been addressed and successfully thrown out?
Okay. It's been addressed by the Danish government. As far as I'm concerned, they do fund a lot of things in order to get into the point that they're going to make it almost zero. They do have improvements over the last decade. So no, it's no contradiction. They do try, and they do try more
So they
because
fail.
there is. What do you mean they fail? If
They
you
fail.
have
They still have a
2,000
high
people
unalivement rate. This is what the question is about.
10 years
Okay.
and people are still killing themselves. Mayo, you said
At
you
higher
said-
rates, nonetheless.
Higher rates?
Okay,
Yeah.
and in Soviet Union, when you were depressed, they were killing you instead of killing yourself. Oh,
You
sorry.
don't have any,
They were-
you don't
People
have
were
any
dying.
information. I don't know why we're pivoting to
Right.
something else because you can't prove your point. Like
No,
this
no,
is
it's
just
just you're saying even though they're trying, you say no, they failed because they have a null, like making null, like
He's
the zero.
gaslighting.
This is crazy. When from 2000 you're going to 1,500 a year, it is a success because you lower the rate. You understand? We're talking
no,
about
it's not a
statistics.
success because it's still at higher rates, bro. That's the point. Like you saying that it's a success because you're okay with the amount of people that unalive themselves does not make it a success. What are we talking about?
Okay, so you're making
Like,
it to be
what are we
zero.
talking about, bro? Like, the United States has less deaths per capita than it did during the Great Depression this year. That makes the United States like a country that is successful and like less starvation. What? What? 1 in 5 children go hungry in the United States. Address the contradiction. Well, it's not as many children that went hungry in 1932. Nigga, what? Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out. This is not good.
Mayo, you read that study you said?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure, but it sounded like Saka was gonna reference a study that was done in Denmark and try to figure out. They tried to posit certain claims and really punch down on the reasons why these things were happening onto the working class, like it was a working class issue, but not a capitalist issue, right? If you listen to what Saka was starting to say, he was saying that when it went from 40 or 50 hours a week working down to 30, and then kind of got off track there. But what I think Saka was going to bring up, and Saka, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Are you going to make the position about the work week? Yep. And they had, okay, so, all right. So in this study, they made the claim that in Denmark, the conditions were way better for the working class, and that following this, that because people had so much extra time on their hands to do things and they did not know what to do with themselves, they found themselves in a position of not knowing who they were. They didn't know what, because they're no longer working as much, they didn't know who they were as individuals. So it created depression, right? But what that study fails to realize is that itself is a condition under capitalism because of alienation, right? People find what capitalism does is it alienates us from the things that we produce, and then the relationship that the proletariat think they have is with like their employer, right? So, I mean, the study in itself is flawed, right? Because it does not take into accountability that all the things that led up to why people think that they aren't worth anything anymore because of capitalist relations. And they try to mitigate that by punching down and saying it's the working class. They just need to go get a hobby. And that's not accurate at all.
Okay. And it's still like you had the chance to, again, disengage time from yourself, like for yourself from work in order to live a life with the same money. For me, it seems like a net positive rather than net like negative. You understand?
Yeah, I understand why, but it's still the relationship that humans have to the things we produce, right? It's the part of like alienation. Right, so humans not seeing the things that we produce that are basically being like extrapolated from from society and put into a market of exchange, right? This is byproducts of capitalism, right? What socialists aim to do is to get rid of the capitalist class as being the ones who accumulate the things we produce, buy, and sell it, and they basically push us away from the things we produce. We need, as humans, to be not alienated from each other and alienated from the things we produce. When you see a house that was produced by your labor, right? But what ends up
I am
happening,
the builder myself. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
right? So basically telling people who are having these psychological effects and not understanding, trying to mitigate capitalism is not getting at the root of the problem. The reason why people are alienated and feel like they're not worth anything when they're not having to work 50 hours a week is a byproduct of capitalism. And that's the main point.
Yeah. I can reply to that one as well. Myself, I'm working around 75 hours a week. In fact, I'm a workaholic, I would say. So I get your point. I like being productive myself, but in Denmark, it wasn't any kind of limitation of how many hours you can work. Overtime is always an option. You understand what I mean? I'm not clocking in, clocking out, and then I have no time to work any other jobs. You can.
But the point of this is that you as a human being should not value yourself by you selling your labor to capitalists, right? And it's like you see this in any capitalist country, right? In the US, for example, right? Somebody works until they're 70 years old. They no longer have a body to enjoy themselves after retiring, and they no longer know who they are as an individual because they are no longer selling their labor. They see themselves attached to the capitalist relations and not understanding who they are as a human.
No, I get your point. Yeah. This is happening when the society, I believe at least, when the society is turning to imperialism. What I believe, as you said, you're working for someone else under capitalistic for a long time. You're making money for one man and all of that. I understand it. Yeah, that's turning it into imperialism when 1% of the population got all the wealth for the 99%. I get you. For me, for example, though, I have the other side of the coin. I'm a self-employed electrician. Yeah, I'm in the construction, constantly putting new wires and all of that, and I'm earning 100% for myself, which I kind of value because I'm putting more work for myself. That means I'm earning more for myself, something that you are not able to do in countries like when it was the Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, Cuba, all of this. And that's why it kind of bothers me when it says the communism is better than the capitalism. Everything got the flaws. I'm not saying, capitalism is great. It's not great because it's always turning into a circle of imperialism. Yes.
Okay, but we are at a point in how the world is structured that everybody can't turn around and be self-employed electricians, right? Can you imagine how that would work? Now, what are you saying? That's a very individualist way of trying to explain your way out of this, right?
It is.
How is what you just said supposed to apply to everybody?
The whole point is it cannot. But again, in capitalism, it's more difficult, yes. But a bright idea that's coming from you that got potential, it can always sparkle to the public. That's something that it was prevented in the Soviet communities. That's the point that you're
keep
deprived.
making statements about the Soviet Union in order to justify your inability to address contradictions within capitalism. If I asked you questions about the USSR, you wouldn't be able to answer them. So I just suggest you stop.
Go ahead. Yeah, I have a house in Russia that was given by the Soviet Union. I know the positives from the Soviet Union. I know the negatives.
You know literally nothing about the Soviet Union.
Sure, yeah, I'm half Russian. You don't know anything about Soviet Union, yes?
Yes, 100%. There's people who've lived in the United States their entire life. We ask people all the time what the three branches of government are in the United States, and they're 45 years old, and they've been in the United States their entire life, and they cannot name the three branches of government. You being half Russian means absolutely the fuck nothing about your education on the USSR. Like this is,
I mean,
I don't understand what this point is. My point is that you keep saying in the USSR you wouldn't be able to do that. In the USSR, like you believe that in the USSR everyone got paid the same amount, which is just fundamentally not fucking true. We have documentation to show that that's not true, and to show that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But you're up here making statements about communism that you don't know anything about, instead of addressing the things that Mayo is saying. And I'm just telling you, stop doing that.
I have witnesses my own family of how they lived in
Okay,
Soviet
excellent.
Union.
Let's just do this. Show me any documentation that said that people got paid the same amount in the USSR.
I can show you the easiest documentation, which is basically Leninism, Marxism.
Let's just get to the paperwork. Let's just get to the pay stubs. There was pay stubs.
Is the whole ideology book? You can read it.
We're avoiding now the evidence. You said the thing. I told you to stop saying the thing.
I don't have them on me. If I will follow you and I will send it to you.
You'll follow me and send it to me?
Yeah, I will send it to you. I don't have it right on my hands.
I severely doubt that. All right, until you send them to me, stop making claims.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Anything else? You're done?
I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I don't have anything else to say. But anyways, it's just an ideology which I don't believe is gonna work because it never worked. That's my point.
Okay, W concession. Thank you for conceding.
Thank you guys. Have a lovely night. Bye.
I gotta hop off, but I wanted to say something real quick. If anybody wanted to go look up that claim, you can look in State and Revolution, Chapter 5, where Lenin talks about the lower phase of communism, socialism, and there not being like an equal exchange or equal rate that the workers would get for their production. So, go look it up right there. But I gotta go. Appreciate you having me.
Anytime.
Bye, Mayo.
Bye.
Bye.
Elmer's been trying to come up.
Elmer didn't say anything last time they were up. Elmer, how old are you?
I'm 34.
All right. What's your
Yeah,
argument?
sorry, I requested last time. Didn't even realize I had requested. I was in the middle of something. Sorry about that.
All right, let's hear it. What do you got?
Well, I think that the United States is in late stage capitalism. I totally agree that socioeconomic inequality is at like unacceptable levels, but I think it's because we have politicians that are poor steward of the ecosystem of capitalism. But I still think that it's the best economic system when managed correctly. And when you look at communist countries, their adoption of free market economies is what's propelled all of them out of poverty in the last, 36 or 30, 40 years.
They have not adopted free market capitalism. This is absolutely not true. I would like an example, please, of ethical capitalism or capitalism managed correctly.
Well, how about I can give you an example right now of countries that are communist that have adopted free markets, and it solved many of their...
They haven't adopted free markets.
Well, Vietnam is a communist country, but...
Does it have a free market?
Yeah, of course.
It does not. What is a free market?
Okay, let me explain. Well, they identify as a communist political system, but a free market economic system.
They do not have a free market. What is a free market? What is a free market?
They allow ownership of private property.
That's not a free
private
market.
Business. So then what would you consider a free market then by definition?
Unregulated capitalism. Free market.
Oh, okay. I think there's a lot of latitude of definition there, but
what type of economy does Vietnam have? Does Vietnam plan their economy?
Does Vietnam plan their economy? Yeah, they do, but they do significantly less.
So is that free market capitalism?
Yeah, but every capitalist economy has some level of planning, of course. We have a Federal Reserve Bank that controls the discount rate. We have fiscal policy.
Are all these economies planned by a Marxist-Leninist party?
No.
No, not.
Yeah. So what's the what are you
Well,
getting
what's
at there?
I mean, like you're saying, it's free market capitalism when it's not.
When it's not planned by, well, I guess what
Not
I'm
a
specifically
free
referencing.
market. It is not a free. It's not a free market. What is a free market?
I mean, allowing equilibrium price and quantity, or supply and demand to dictate equilibrium price and quantity, product motive to
Now
precipitate
what?
innovation. I mean,
Now, what is a planned economy? Is it when the
A pla-
market? Is it when the market dictates?
no, I mean, by definition, planned economy, you're going to have exogenous forces planning out the economy. You're going to have a fixed exchange rate, fixed interest rate. It's not going to switch based
Right,
on
'cause
net
what
capital
you're-
outflows.
What you're telling me right now is that all countries on the planet have free market capitalism and planned economies. That's what you're telling me.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying in a country like Vietnam, right, prior to them being allowed to have private property, private business, the entire private sector, prior to that was 1986. 1986, they had the Doi Moi reforms where they adopted,
Yeah.
they maintained a capitalist, or excuse me, a
The Doi
communist
Moi
political
reform-
structure.
The Doi Moi reforms did not bring in free market capitalism, though.
It allowed for private property. It allowed,
Yeah, it allowed
for
for
private
private
business. It allowed
property.
for all the building blocks of free market. Because I don't want this to be
But
like
it
a
isn't
semantic
It is
argument.
not a free market. It isn't. It cannot both be a planned economy and a free market economy.
Well, yeah, of course. All free market economies, like the United States, have some level of planning. That's not what capitalism
I'm
is.
talking
Even
specifically about a planned economy. Am I not?
you're talking specifically about a planned economy.
Like, Sean, I don't know. Am I not being clear? Am I being confusing? Or something?
I wrote it in the chat too because I was like, I don't know what people think planned economies are.
Right.
Because like there's has to be like a different definition for some reason.
I mean, again, like I didn't want it to be a semantic argument, but I think we can agree that at least
It's
a
not
pure communist
semantic. It's
economy
about the
does not allow
functionality
for
of the market,
private
bro.
ownership of land, private property, or private enterprise. Right? Can we at least agree on that?
Private
No.
property does not mean that it's a free market.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
What
just saying that is obviously a key difference when you're looking at a free market economy versus a planned or purely communist economy.
Bro,
You're not
all
going to
right,
allow that
let's just do
free
this.
enterprise. It's going to be state owned. Would you not
I need y'all.
agree?
I need y'all to look up the differences. I need y'all to look up what a planned economy is. I need y'all to look up what a free market economy is. I need y'all to look up like what a command economy is. Like I need y'all to look these things up because like y'all don't know.
Yeah, but I
You
feel
have
like
no
you guys
idea.
are getting tripped up on what is essentially. Are you telling me that you do not believe that ownership of private property and private enterprise
What
are
type of private
obviously
property?
personal, any kind, personal private property, ownership of your own home, ownership of your land, and anything
Yeah,
that's
this is
underneath
just
the land,
this is
like
just blunder
oil.
after blunder.
Talking about. He doesn't know
How
what
is
he's
it?
talking about. Rick
This
just
is blunder after
said.
blunder.
Rick
Can
just
you explain to me?
Stop talking. Rick just said that there's no private land ownership in Vietnam, and personal property is not private property.
Personal property is not private. Okay, I mean, I guess this is. I think it's turning this into kind of just a semantic argument.
This is not
of what
semantic.
specific
We need
definitions
to
you
know
wanna
what
use. But
this is not
regardless,
semantic.
even
We
if you
need to
look
know
at-
what each other are talking about, and you need to know how economies function.
I know
We're
how
talking
economies
about the
function. I have a
functionality
master's
of
in
it.
economics.
Okay,
I'm a
check it
former
out.
labor economist.
No, you don't.
Check
No,
it
you
out.
don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't have a master's in economics. So stop doing that. I hate when people on TikTok pretend to be higher than they actually are. You don't have a master's in economics. You don't have a degree. You're not even in college. You haven't been to college. That's not a thing. Stop saying that. Like you don't know the difference between a command economy. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. There's no way. You're not convincing us.
So,
Like
sorry, just real quick. The reason that this matters is because Vietnam makes a distinction between private and personal property.
Listen, this is I hate doing the teaching thing, but at this point, if you want to get anywhere, what you're going to have to know is that a planned economy is when the state plans every aspect of the economy. A free market economy is when the state has no say within the economy. If prices are managed by private entities, then that is not a planned economy. Those are the differences. The state controls the thing. A centralized authority is what it would say. A centralized authority plans everything within the economy, regardless of if there is some form of private ownership. Like, I don't, why don't y'all read stuff before you say stuff? That would be my new question. I don't understand, like, what.
Elmer, are you there?
Oh, excuse me. I mean, to some extent, are planning the economy. So you would not consider the United States a free market economy then? I'm asking you.
The United States is not a free market economy.
Okay, you wouldn't consider it a free market economy. You consider it a hybrid economy.
There's no such thing as a hybrid economy. It's just a capitalist.
These are mere
mode of
definitions.
production.
Obviously, we have elements of both within our economy. So what would you define it as? What would you define the United States economy as?
The entities, the privatized industries control the central forces in the United States, not the other way around.
I mean, I think that it's probably 50-50. There's validity
It's
to
not
both sides,
50-50.
of course. Well, so what would you define it then? What would you call the United States economy then?
It's a capitalistic economy.
It's
Okay,
capitalist.
okay, capitalist economy. All right, so we can agree that reforms in 1986 within Vietnam changed it to
No.
a capitalist economy, which is what I
No.
originally said.
No.
It's that a communist political
What the fuck
structure,
are
a
you
capitalist
talking about?
economy.
No.
No what?
You don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have no
I
clue
literally
what you're
haven't
talking
even
about.
said anything yet because you're arguing about
You're
semantics.
making the claim that Vietnam is a capitalistic, bro.
I'm
They
saying
were
it's not. I'm saying a
building-
pure capitalist economy. I'm saying
They
that
were
the elements.
building. They were building their productive forces.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
okay?
through capitalist economy, and there was obviously
What were the conditions? What were the conditions of Vietnam?
conditions in terms of.
I don't know. Was Vietnam like bombed all to hell?
Yeah, they had a
they
civil
were.
war that the United States played a
Wasn't just
major
a
hand in,
civil
of course.
war.
Yeah.
Wasn't just a civil war. Whose side are you on for the Vietnam?
Well, it was a
War, by
proxy.
the
It was a
way?
proxy war for sure.
Whose,
You're right, yeah.
whose side would you be on for the Vietnam War? Just curious.
I have no idea. I don't like to take sides in things that I have no vested interest in which can lead to people dying.
What?
And people did die from.
You don't know whose side you were on in the Vietnam War?
That's hilarious.
I obviously wasn't on the United States side. Like I
No,
do not
you're
think
on
that the United
Vietnam
States'
side.
involvement
Hello?
in Vietnam was by any means justified or strategic or provided the United States or Vietnam any value. Like,
What? All right, man.
do you
Look,
think that
this
the
is-
United States participating in the Vietnam War provided Vietnam any value?
What the fuck are you talking about?
if you say this, then you are on Vietnam's side then.
Yes, I am on
So then
Vietnam.
that's why I
side.
said what? Because when you said I don't know, that doesn't make any sense.
I thought you were saying in terms of North Vietnam versus South Vietnam, whose side would I be fighting on? I
The
do not
United
know the
States fought
intricacies.
on the side of South Vietnam.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
So if
And I
you don't
also
like-
think that it was a war that should not have happened. I don't believe that the United States should interfere in international
you know what?
politics.
You know what? I'm kind of getting the vibe that Elmer supported the Khmer Rouge.
Oh my God.
Do you like Pol Pot?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, see, now he's denying it.
I don't even know what that is. What did you say on the side of, what was it, Rouge? I'm going to write it down.
Cambodia.
It's Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know why you're denying it.
I mean, guys, I wanted to kind of like, I thought we were gonna have a slightly more higher level, elevation of conversation about precipitations
this
of
is
economic development, and
This is the best.
This is just a waste of time.
This is the best you have to offer us. This is
Okay,
We're
I
meeting.
don't
We're
think
meeting your
so.
energy.
I don't
Yeah, we're
think
meeting your
so
energy.
because,
Watch this.
like I
Watch
said,
this.
I
Hey,
thought we were.
stop talking for a fucking minute, right? Listen, let's do this. Elmer, what is capitalism? Go ahead and unmute.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we're gonna do it. We're square one.
Okay, so
What is
so you
capitalism?
so are you just reading from a definition that you
capitalism?
pulled up, or do you
He
want
can't
me to
do it.
actually explain the intricacies of capitalism
He
to you now,
can't
which I'm
do it.
more than happy to do.
Bro, capitalism is
do it.
one thing, man.
Say what
Okay,
it is.
It's one thing.
Capitalism as a market structure, significantly more free market.
Oh God.
You would say that there's no market
Telling us
planning
about
involved.
commerce right now,
That's not
Sean.
true.
Did somebody ask you about commerce?
So what to you? What is a country that is a pure
Elmer.
free market economy? then?
Elmer,
Yeah.
Mr. Big Degree, tell me what is capitalism?
Okay, capitalism is an economic structure that relies on supply and demand to precipitate consumption.
There he
It's going
goes
to
with
be
commerce.
mostly run by private enterprise, right? Adopts a central bank.
Elmer, nobody asked you about commerce. What is capitalism? Go ahead and unmute. What is capitalism?
I thought I was providing a pretty robust information.
You're telling me about
definition with many different
commerce.
dimensions.
I didn't ask you about commerce. I said, what is capitalism?
Capitalism, so you don't want me to mention anything about the market.
Tell me what capitalism
Capitalism is a meritocracy that rewards based on innovation, hard work, knowledge, the amount of value that you provide into the society.
Go return
is-
that degree. Go return your degree right now.
You
Return
have
your
a degree, and yeah, this is why I said what I said. Like, stop! Y'all got to stop doing that, man. Y'all got to stop doing that. Capitalism is a mode of production in which the means of that production are owned by private entities.
Is
That's
that
it.
not what I was
That's all
saying?
it
I
is.
was putting in
It's
a
not even
significantly more
close. It's not
robust
even-
definition
it's-
than that.
it's not even
You put
close.
some textbook definition.
We asked you to go to Georgia, and you went to Ohio.
I'm
Like,
explaining to
you
you
were
how
not even
markets
close.
actually work.
He said meritocracy. There's not a person on the planet that thinks capitalism is a meritocracy. That's ridiculous. Capitalism is about ownership and the relationship to ownership.
I would agree, but I would also say that it was very much in the early stage. Capitalism is a meritocracy based
No.
on the amount of value. Your value is your
That's
merit. The value
insane.
that
That is actually insane. Can I actually point out how fucking insane is that he just said, I'm sorry about the ableism. He just said early capitalism was very much based on meritocracy. Does anybody
This is
know
what
what
we're talking
early capitalism was? Elmer? Because it'd be slavery.
early capitalism
slavery.
in the United States was very much it was a monarch. It was not capitalism. I see what you're saying. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm
You
talking
just told
about
us that
slavery, bro.
slavery was a meritocracy, dumbass.
No, I didn't. You said that. I'm not
That's
saying
early
that.
capitalism. Early capitalism was
Yeah, but not all
slavery.
capitalist economies. Just because it's a capitalist economy does not mean that it's relying on slave.
Yes,
did.
it is.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I wanted to kind of get into the dimensions and evolution of Vietnam's economy
you
versus the
can't.
United States,
You're
but
done. You're done. You're done. Holy shit.
This place, man. This is the bad place.
It really is. I'm so sorry. I get the worst ops. Holy fuck.
I told Kenzie what she told me the other day. Kenzie, not requesting is for libs.
Come up, Kenzie. Come hang out. Meritocracy is crazy. Like, that's. Oh, boy. All right, age.
32.
Okay, go ahead.
How you doing? So I just got on here. So for me, I guess I would say communism is where the state or the government controls things, so as a collective. And then I guess I would say capitalism is more of private ownership or private companies owning things. I don't know if you guys did the definition or not, so I'm just putting that out there. That's how I view it as. If I'm wrong, y'all can tell me. Are we in agreement so far with my definition?
It's private entities owning the means of all production.
Okay, I thought I said that. Okay. So based upon that, I would say that I haven't really seen a communist country that has really done that properly. So if we're going to say, communism versus capitalism, do I think there are holes in capitalism? For sure. And I think that you guys have, I haven't been on this chat a whole long, but you guys have stated some things that are wrong with capitalism. And I agree with you. But as far as like world history, looking back in the past and comparing things, I haven't really
What's
seen
your
that.
overarching proposition?
We're debating communism versus capitalism. So what
Right.
I'm saying is
What's
that
your
I haven't
overarching
seen.
proposition? Is it that capitalism is better than communism? Is it that communism is not perfect? Like, what is your overarching?
Oh, okay. Sorry. So what I'm saying is that as of now, I haven't seen a communist country being run properly. So as of right
What do
now,
you
all
mean
we
run
have is
properly?
like, give me an example of an established communist country
How
that
can
is
I do that if you don't tell me what's run properly?
a successful country,
What do you determine as successful?
where the majority of people are have money to do what they want. They can move around freely, freedom of press, freedom of speech.
Why are those metrics
You asked
determine
that.
success?
That's my opinion because you asked me my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion.
Right, but why? Your opinion can be backed by reason, right?
Okay, and that's
So
my opinion.
why is that the metric of success? Is like free press, the ability to move? What was the other one?
I didn't say the ability to move.
You said move freely, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I said speak freely.
You said
Speak
move.
freely.
I said freedom of speech. I never said anything about moving.
You
Mm,
did. It's
I
fine.
don't know about freedom of speech. Like, we don't have that. So
We don't have that here. Is that what you're
no,
saying?
we don't.
We're talking right now freely.
That's not freedom of speech.
What?
That's not freedom of speech.
In certain countries, you can't say anything against the government. Here we can. How's that not freedom of
Do
speech?
you know what the Smith Act was?
You're not answering my question. You're
I am
answering my
going to
questions
answer
with
your
other
question.
questions.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
answer it,
I need
please.
to know in order to answer your question. If you know what I'm going to say, because if you don't, then I'll have to explain that to you.
No, tell me. Explain it to me.
Explain what?
The Smith Act.
So during the Red Scare, there were acts that were put in place that even just criminalized people owning leftist literature. Just owning it, not even being leftist. That doesn't seem like freedom of speech to me.
Okay. I'd agree with you on that.
And then if you really want to get into what freedom of speech is, I don't
But
think you agree
do they
with
do
that
the same
either.
thing? Do they do the same thing in China? Sorry, I don't mean to
Like, I'm not interested
overtalk
in
you.
I don't
That's not a
think
communist
freedom.
country.
Well, they
I
don't,
don't.
but
I
like,
didn't even
just
They
finish my
don't.
I don't
sentence.
understand. I don't understand why you're pivoting.
I'm not pivoting because we're talking about capitalism versus communism. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
naming communist
they
countries.
don't. They don't. So now address what
Wait,
Kinsey
your
was
Yeah,
talking about.
actually they
proposition, your
do. They
proposition
monitor.
They
had
They
don't.
nothing
monitor
to
Like,
do
everything you
with
do on the
capitalism.
internet. Yes, they do. They don't
I
have
Your
don't.
Facebook.
proposition
They
had
don't have
nothing to do with
Instagram. They don't
This is
have. What
going
do
to
you mean
go
they
bad
don't?
for him. This is going to go
How?
very bad for him. Look, man, please address what Kinsey is talking about and stop pivoting.
Your proposition had nothing to do with capitalism. You just said that communism isn't run successfully, and then you're picking a couple arbitrary metrics. I don't think you believe in freedom of speech either. Do you think there should be any restrictions on speech?
You have to unmute. I am gonna keep the panel the way it is now. PG, you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. I was just saying that I'm not against freedom of speech. I love freedom of speech. Everybody feels to think
Are
or believe
there
or say whatever they
are
want.
there any restrictions on speech that you support?
Well, yeah, you can't go into a building and be like, "There's a bomb," and then people, hurt themselves. Of course, but like in general
And you do
sense,
not
no,
believe in freedom of speech.
ma'am. There has to be
Do you believe perjury should be illegal?
perjury.
Yes.
In what way?
What do you mean in what way?
You're saying should perjury be illegal or illegal?
Should perjury be illegal?
Mm, that's a good question. Because you're lying. I would say illegal.
So that is a restriction on speech, correct?
No, it's not. It's not a restriction. You're just. You can do it.
How is that not a restriction?
Because it's not restricting you from. You still can lie if you want to, but if you're gonna get caught, there's gonna be consequences.
Right. So that's how we classify what freedom of speech is that
no
there
way.
aren't restrictions to where you receive legal consequences for speech,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. So then making perjury illegal would be a restriction and therefore would be a limitation on what you consider free speech.
So you think perjury should be legal?
No, I don't believe in freedom of speech, but you do. And so I'm trying to highlight that you actually don't believe in freedom of speech. You just think there are aspects of speech that should be protected. But when we look at what's that speech,
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll agree with you on that.
great. So then I don't know why freedom of speech is now a metric of success, because that's not a concept you believe in.
Just because I don't believe perjury is illegal or should be legal.
What's your next metric?
You did concede on that. We both agree that freedom of speech is not a metric of success or even a concept we both agree with.
But can we both agree if you can't say negative things about your government, how's that efficient or proper as well?
We just talked
Why are
about
we pivoting again?
when we talk about metrics of success
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
that we agree that there should be protected speech.
Yes.
Now, again, when you say, I haven't seen a communist country that has been run successfully, you're giving me metrics to support that. And I'm asking you why these are the metrics you're choosing.
Because that's just my opinion. That's
Which
just what
again, I think I only have two, which is you have enough money and freedom of movement.
No, I didn't say enough money.
Okay. Okay. We won't call you out on gaslighting me. Why don't you just
No,
tell me again?
those weren't my
what
words.
the metrics are for success in terms of a society?
Let's see. So I would say the ability, upward mobility. So the ability for people to start off with nothing and get something at a fast rate. I think that leans more towards the capitalist side than the communism side.
So are we comparing capitalism to communism, or are we just evaluating communism based on specific metrics?
Well, it says debate communism versus capitalism.
I
so was
asked you what
comparing.
your preposition was, and your preposition did not reference capitalism at all.
Well, it has to. It says debate communism versus
Okay,
capitalism.
great.
So I'm
Would you like to
debating.
reframe your preposition then?
Yes. So
or
I'm
your
debating
proposition?
communism versus capitalism. I'm saying that
So what is
so
your
far,
proposition?
that capitalism is better because
Oh, so
of
now
these
we're
reasons.
changing it from I haven't seen a successful communist country or communism run successfully to now capitalism is better than
Well,
communism?
I thought that'd be common sense. If I'm saying that we haven't seen one work properly, then yeah, of course, capitalism is better.
Okay.
I initially
just
said
to
that.
be clear, just to be clear,
Oh, I can't
what
get
is your
words out.
proposition?
I just said it.
Go ahead.
I just said it.
Say it again.
I said communism. We haven't seen a countries that are what was I saying? I was saying that communism versus capitalism, there are many more capitalistic countries that are thriving and doing better than communist countries. And that's what I said.
So
I said so far in
capitalism
history,
is
we
doing
haven't.
better than communism. Correct?
Quantity?
If I can't get my thoughts out, then how are you going to understand what I'm saying?
Please get
I'm
your thoughts
asking
out.
if what I just wrote down is what you're saying, because it seems like you don't have a streamlined proposition.
No, I keep saying something. You keep cutting me off every fourth word.
Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good.
Why are you complaining than getting
No,
what you want?
because in a conversation, I let you
just
speak.
interrupted me.
Okay.
Nope.
You asked me a
Why are
question.
you
You said, why are you
complaining?
complaining? I'm trying to
I
answer
wasn't
you.
even done. Why are you complaining? Getting what you want, then not participating.
I'm not complaining about that. My complaint is that whenever I speak, you keep cutting me off. I can't get my thoughts out. So
Now
you're asking me
it's
questions.
now it's your
Oh my God.
Go ahead. And you said, I'm good. So
I'm
again,
good. You got
I'm
it.
going to
Again, you
ask
cut me
you,
off.
then leave.
Again, you cut me off. Again, you cut
Look,
me off.
I'm going to ask
got
you
it.
one more time for your proposition. Okay, bye.
You left. You Kenzie.
W Kinsey.
Like he wasn't being given the space to speak?
I feel like we were begging him to speak. JC, how old are you?
18.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted someone to basically explain. Well, firstly, I just wanted someone to define both sides. So, someone to define communism.
Are you here to debate?
Yeah.
Do you have a statement?
Well, not really, but I just wanted to
Do
see.
you think capitalism is better than communism?
Yes, yeah.
Great. What's the argument?
Well, I just wanted to see what your guys'
Good for
side of the
you.
story
What
was.
is the argument for capitalism is better than communism?
Well, no, because I wanted to debate your guys of your point of view first.
No.
An argument. Are you able to give an argument? Oh, he left.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm not done. I'm sleepy. I stayed up too late. I have 30 minutes though. I need to get my sleep schedule in order. Because I don't.
I was supposed to go back to work a long time ago. I said, fuck it.
Hello.
Hi.
How
Age?
you doing? I've been here before.
Age?
How old are you?
34.
Great.
Argument?
Capitalism is awesome.
Okay, what's the argument?
That that it's awesome. You have iPhones, you
That's
have
a
doctors.
conclusion.
It's
So we're
circular. It's
asking what-
awesome because it's awesome.
I'm gonna get rid of him.
Okay, bye.
Chat said no. Okay. Have anybody else? Okay. I am looking for opposition. If you're opposition, please request. Yeah, W likes, W mods. And then also we do have mutual aid on the background. If you go to that link tree, you can clear display to go ahead and take a screenshot or do whatever it is you need to do. It is for Gary, Indiana. They are now 14 days without power. If you can, there's 2 links in that link tree to help out. I'd really appreciate it. I don't think we have anybody. I think the ops are scared of you, Kenzie.
I don't think so.
I do.
I just don't think they can give us an argument.
I'm going to clear this out unless we get somebody. Try this person. You're an op and you're scared of Kenzie.
Yo, what up?
How old are you?
18. Why?
Alright, give an argument.
Well, okay. Just tell us why do you think communism is better?
Give an argument.
Well, if you look at every single communist country, it never ends well, right? Does it? Look at Hitler, for example. Everyone hated him. The economy was horrible, and
Have you read anything that Hitler published?
yes.
You have. What was his opinion on communists?
Was it? Oh, sorry. He was. Oh no, he was. Sorry. Wrong person. My bad. Sorry. My bad.
Huh.
That was really bad.
Who were you referring to?
Mussolini?
No.
Who?
Stalin, for example.
Stalin. Okay.
Was Stalin a good person?
Yes.
How?
What is your wait? We're not gonna
He
be
used
doing
terror,
one
political
second.
purges,
One
and forced
second.
labor camps.
1 second.
Like,
We're not going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting for you. So, can you tell me what your proposition is in reference to the background?
well, okay. Can we just talk about that? One, communism loses freedom, which is a basic human right that people need to have, right? Correct.
So,
You-
again, I don't know why you're not giving me a statement when it comes to what's on the background. Do you think capitalism is better than communism?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you give me an argument for that?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Just 1 sec.
Are you asking Chat GPT?
No.
Okay.
So, well,
Are you
with
asking
capitalism,
any
you choose your own
version
career
of AI?
as well. Can we just talk about that? That
No, I would
communism,
like
you-
an argument that supports the conclusion capitalism is better than communism.
Well, again, like you didn't make me finish my argument, but okay. So you can choose. Okay, so with capitalism, you can choose your own career, start your own business, buy and sell what you want. Communism, you get your own job that is given by the government itself, and it also led to a lot of
Okay, so one
shortages of
second.
basic foods.
You can choose your own career under capitalism. What is the
Mhm.
evidence for that?
A lot of evidence, bro.
Such as?
A lot.
Yeah, I'm actually. I need to look. Like every single country currently. Look at look at Switzerland, for example, who has like a really good financial.
So I just want evidence that under capitalism, you have the freedom to choose your own career.
Literally, look it up. Oh my god. Literally, it
So
literally says.
I did look it up and I didn't find anything. So can you tell me where you found that kind of evidence?
Look it up, and I found it on a.
I did. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything. So can you tell me where you found it? I also found information that people are restricted in what type of career choice or career options that they have based on their socioeconomic status and their access to education. So it seems that there are barriers.
Oh, no. Because I looked it up too. I looked it up too, and this is what I got.
Same. Oh my god.
Nothing.
Choose your own fighter. That's what I heard when he was like, you can choose your own career.
Choose your
Chris Michael. I have slightly over 20 minutes.
You're an Instacart shopper? Yeah, see? Like what?
We need Ari here, and then it would be full cadre.
I'm a millennial. Of course I played Mortal Kombat. I played it on Sega. Do they still make Segas anymore?
I don't think so. I'm suspicious of this account, but I'm gonna let them up. No, they ran. Well, Kenzie's not old.
I am old.
No, you're
That's
not.
fine.
You're not old. Mm-mm.
I'm seasoned? What are we saying?
Ooh, seasoned. I like that. All
Wow,
right.
Noah. Wow, Noah. Just because you have curfew.
Can you rent a car yet, Noah, or no?
Asking to rent a car is diabolical. That's actually diabolical.
Do we have anyone? You just made it. You're in enemy territory. I won't make fun of you for being young, Zion. Don't worry. This isn't a liberal live. Every time Zion goes on a liberal live, they're just like, act like Zion's like hella young.
Dog, it's like, and it plagues too, because like if I go in after Zion, they'll be like, "You're young too," and I'm just like, "What, bro? What are we? We're not even talking about that. Stop it. Cut it out."
Happens to me all the time too, and I'm like, I'm fucking older than you.
How old are they? They do have a very young sounding voice.
Zion, I think you're 20, right, Zion? 20, 21?
That's a fetus. What do you mean?
31 years old with a mortgage. 22, you're 22. I'm sorry. Young is when you know too much for my comfort, yeah. Okay. I might actually shut down. Make sure to follow Kenzie and Sean, please, everybody. And to check out the mutual aid.
Follow Ash.
Oh, follow me?
Yes,
You
follow
want,
Ash.
if you feel like it.
No, do it. Do it or you get the gulag, seriously.
Well, it was nice having everyone here. W mods. I'm gonna go to sleep. Bye, everybody.
What the hell?
I'm not really. I'm gonna go get my kids.
Oh. I guess that's okay to shut down then. I was just gonna make fun of you. See, Sean, I joined, so you can't call me a lib, even though Sean thinks all white women are libs. That's what she told me.
That's also true.
And I thought that was really funny, actually. I thought it was super funny when Sean said that me and you sound the same, and then the chat agreed.